Welcome back to Nerd Notify, everyone. Today, let's talk about the PS4 Pro and Xbox Scorpio. Today, I really want to talk about just the introductions of the PS4 Slim, or the new PS4, and the PlayStation 4 Neo, now called the PlayStation 4 Pro, in regards to the Xbox One S and the Xbox Scorpio. Now, I don't claim to be an expert in computer engineering at all, so if I say something that's incorrect, if I do anything wrong, please let me know in the comments. I have no problems admitting those faults, but I do believe that the research I've done is for the most part accurate. So I just want to have a little discussion about these new versions of the consoles and what that means for us in terms of gaming in the near future. Let's start talking about the Slim PS4, or as they're calling it, just the PlayStation 4. This is replacing the original model and is virtually identical in just about every way in terms of hardware inside. The main differences, of course, are going to be that it's a smaller, sleeker shell with an upgraded DualShock controller, which is actually pretty cool. This one is going to come with 500 gigs of storage, and it is going to launch on September 15th for $299. So there's not much different on this guy. It is the same machine, just smaller and more energy efficient. Let's move on to the PlayStation 4 Neo, or the PlayStation 4 Pro as they're calling it. This machine is going to be the upgraded powerhouse that can handle quite a bit more when it comes to gaming. So the PlayStation 4 Pro really does have a lot going for it. One of the main things that we're catching, of course, is the 4K capabilities. 4K upscaling for gaming. We're still not 100% sure on what's going to be native 4K. So that is something that's still really unclear and nobody seems to have a definite answer on. It has an upgraded GPU. It has HDR support, or high dynamic range, and that's really going to help emphasize your brighter brights, your darker darks, really to give you a much nice, sharper, deeper picture than what you would have had before. There will be HD TV support, so that's going to help out those who do not own a 4K television. It's going to help give you a little bit of a visual increase. Also, this thing is going to have increased performance for the PlayStation VR, which is actually pretty sweet if you're going to jump into that later too. This machine is also going to come with 1 terabyte of hard drive space, and this is going to launch on November 10th for $399.99. Let's talk about the 4K capabilities a little bit. They did say that this machine was going to launch with a new YouTube and Netflix app that were going to be, I guess, 4K capable, or have a lot more 4K content available for us. In terms of streaming, there is quite a bit more out there already, I think, versus physical discs, although we are getting quite a bit more here in these last few months. Which brings me to my next point, is that the PS4 Pro will not play Blu-ray or 4K Blu-ray discs, which is really kind of crappy if you think about it. I get that not a lot of people are playing that type of media, but there are still quite a few people who want to be able to experience that 4K quality video, and the easiest way to do so is to go buy a Blu-ray disc, a 4K Blu-ray disc, and just pop it in, versus finding certain shows or something like that that are available through Netflix or Amazon or whatever. It really does seem like a strange omission, considering Sony pioneered the Blu-ray discs with the PS3. I don't understand why they really didn't want to include this for the PS4 Pro. I don't know if it was a cost thing. I read somewhere that they really think that most people are streaming their content versus using the physical media, but even so, why would they not get the same backlash that, say, Microsoft did when they went to, tried to go digital for the Xbox One originally? Granted, I know it's a very different thing. I'm not putting them on the same level, but it's why restrict that particular audience. Yes, it is not very large, but still, why restrict that audience? Overall, the PS4 Pro looks like a beast of a machine. It's still going to be really, really awesome when it comes out later this year. So for people who don't have a PlayStation 4 at all, and they really wanted to jump in and be able to take advantage of what they can in terms of the strongest console available at this time, go for it. I mean, the PS4 Pro is still going to be really, really awesome, especially if you're going to jump into PlayStation VR, or if you really already have a 4K television with HDR support, all that good stuff. That's where people are going to be able to take advantage of this console. If you do not have a 4K TV, there's not really much it's going to help you with. There's not much at all, really. Now let's jump over to the Microsoft side and talk about the Xbox One S and the Xbox Scorpio project. Many are considering the Xbox One S, or the slim version to the original Xbox One, quite a marginal improvement over its predecessor, mostly because the frame is smaller, it looks really nice, it's got a matte finish with the plastic versus the glossy that a lot of people didn't like, where it scratched up and got dusted really easily, and it's just got some really cool features built in. I do think it's important to note that the Xbox One S is not a hardware improvement over the original Xbox One. Similar to the PS4 Slim and the original PS4, it's using the same hardware. In terms of gameplay and gaming, the console can upscale to 4K. There are no visual fidelity enhancements, as again, there's no hardware improvements in the machine to make it do so. So it's really just going to make those games just look a little bit cleaner and sharper on a 4K, but it's not going to increase texture resolutions or anything like that. Like it's going to look the same as it did, just a little bit nicer on a 4K monitor. So the Xbox One S does have HDR support built in as well. Again, you really can't take advantage of this unless you have a TV or a monitor that is capable of doing so. Also, there is 4K Blu-ray and streaming built in, so you can play 4K Blu-ray discs on the Xbox One S, something that the PS4 Pro won't do. And of course, you can still stream content as well. And the Xbox One S controller is also improved. It's got Bluetooth built in, so you can use it on PCs and other mobile devices. And it's also got some improvements to texturing, things like that, just to make it easier to grip overall. And lastly, they actually have 3 different tiers in terms of pricing for the Xbox One S. It starts at $299 for 500 gigs of hard drive space, $350 for a terabyte, and $400 for the 2 terabytes. So you have some options there if you haven't gotten an Xbox to really jump in and take advantage of that as well. All right, let's move on to the final little piece of this puzzle, the Xbox Scorpio, which we really don't know much about at all. This is Microsoft's ambitious kind of project to make a console that is not going to have a generational gap. At least that's the idea behind it. To clarify on that, Microsoft really is trying to end the console generational cycle with this machine. They want all of their games to be accessible across all Xbox platforms and PC. So Windows 10, Xbox One, Xbox Scorpio, whatever it's going to be, all the games are going to be able to play on each, but they're going to be built to take advantage of certain things based off of which console you own. The Xbox Scorpio is going to have an 8-core CPU, a graphics card capable of 6 teraflops of power, and it's going to have 320 gigs per second worth of memory bandwidth. In terms of power and specs, that's all we really know at the moment, so we're still really up in the air in terms of manufacturers or anything else that we might want to know hardware-wise that's built into this machine. That's all we really know about the Xbox Scorpio. Microsoft is really touting this as the most powerful console to date, even though they're trying to end these console generational gaps. And according to what we see in the spec sheet, it definitely will be once it releases next year in 2017. All right, that's all we really know about the Xbox Scorpio. Again, speculation is that it's being built for maybe VR or just Microsoft wanting to have the numbers game on lock and have just the most powerful console again on the market. But we just got to wait and see what we get in terms of details. And I do hope we see something at E3 2017. That would be really nice, but we won't know until we get there. All right, everybody, that's all I've got for you today. Let's get that discussion started down below and really start kind of picking apart what we think we know about these consoles. There's a lot of speculation and a lot of confusion going around. So I'd love to talk to everyone and just kind of see what you guys are thinking, and maybe we can brainstorm something and try to put together a somewhat cohesive picture, because I'm with you guys. I just want to know what's coming. I'm most likely going to pass on the PS4 Pro for now. I do plan to pick up the PlayStation VR, but I do not have a 4K television. I don't have anything capable of HDR, so there's no real necessary need for me to jump to the upgraded PS4 at this time. Same thing with my Xbox One. I don't plan to pick up an Xbox One S. I do plan to get the Xbox Scorpio next year, because by that time I do plan to have an upgraded television and maybe get a PS4 Pro as well, so I can take advantage of those games when they come out. So we'll see how that goes. But yeah, that's all I got for you. So as always, thank you so much for watching. You guys are awesome. And if you can, don't forget to give me a like and a subscribe if you haven't subscribed already. I'm always trying to put out more content and videos for everyone, and with a full-time job and teaching and all these other things, getting to this always seems to be a little tough, but I love doing it and I want to keep it rolling. So again, thank you so much for watching. I really do appreciate it, and you all have a good day. I'll catch you on the flip side. Don't forget to dance it out, and you've just been notified.